Hello everyone, introduct, my name is Maria Roslinda Nektias, class G, Program Study Informatic Engineering Strain 1. Here I will tell you the storyline about Pirates of Silicon Valley movie. The consolation of this Pirates of Silicon Valley movie, we will feed Amazit and animate to see how Bill Gates can become a big and famous person like today. It is nothing but not because of his action that hijack the world of others. We can benefit from this Pirates of Silicon Valley to always be passionate and inspiration in our daily life, especially for me and generously for all of us. Proudly speaking, Pirates of Silicon Valley tell the story of the rivalry between Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is the founder of Apple Computer. It is famous for its Magic Stop product. Pirates of Silicon Valley cover. Pirates of Silicon Valley tell how Bill Gates and Steve Jobs started everything from scratch. You can be stunned by the genius and passion they have. In 1975, Gates and his partner Paul Allen founded Microsoft. And in 1976, Jobs and his partner Steve Wozniak founded Apple. In a garage, at the time they were able to sell Apple, a computer that were originally written in wood and using used television screens. Wozniak sold the computer to the handphone company where they worked, but the handphone begins back then just laughed at him. Apple began to develop, and now the world began when they managed to create a computer that has an interesting GUI equipped with the use of a mouse. The idea of using mice and graphics is actually still the computer owned by Xerox. Starting from Xerox, who always Jobs and asked to see his work because he did not realize the enormity of its use. The good thing about Steve Jobs is that he was not at all ashamed to admit that he had committed a complete deal from Xerox. Instead, he was proud and made that the company motto. Even in front of his entrance 6 office, a pirate's flag was flown with artist copy with artist steal. Apple built development into a lengthy company when compared to Microsoft, which at that time was still a small company, but Microsoft has a basis product that IBM considers pretty exciting, and at one time, Bill Gates said why IBM official. At the meeting, Bill Gates managed to convince IBM that they had their product. IBM needed. Talks Gates et al. Did not prepare anything when leaving for the meeting. Bill Gates felt he was bought from someone who was unrelating at the airport. This is where we can see the spirit and optimism possessed by Gates et al. Next, obviously, Bill Gates et al. Are confused to fulfill this promise, and the means of the confused. Allen visited a small software house. There, he was the exhaust program and decided to buy along with his silence. It was the program that was eventually resolved by Bill Gates come to IBM, and that was the silence that Microsoft still holds. That program later became Microsoft DOS, which exists across computers using Windows today. Imagine how hard that creator of XDOS would be when he knew this. The collaboration with IBM kept Microsoft growing, but still remained under Apple Inc. Until then, Apple is still one step ahead of Microsoft. This is what made the Gates confused and decided to go to Jobs. I don't know what Gates did, so Steve Jobs wanted to show their prototype that Apple was developing, and amazingly again, Steve Jobs gave Bill Gates one prototype because Gates promised to develop it. Of course, and only after a long time there was news. Jobs began to release. He also called it just a relief. Here, again, look the talent of the negotiator after Gates' development. And finally, come the launch of Apple computer derived from the prototype. Steve Jobs got. Gates was given opportunity to make a stick. When Gates was the podium, Steve Jobs got to news that in Japan there was already calculating computer with program similar to Apple product. The program is known other than Microsoft Windows. The film is a beautiful portrayal of the modern entrepreneurs and gives us an insight look at the management style of both Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, whose unique to great men become king of stealing. Also, very interesting in this Pirates of Silicon Valley movie in its individual character development of both Jobs and Gates. We learned early on that Steve Jobs was adopting and he faced many difficult problems due to his lack of self-identification as a result of adoption. He sees himself as visionary, an artist, a person who can change history. Yet, hesitated to take responsibility for the illegitimate child he brings into the world. It is described as typical computer nerd who left his Harvard education to start Microsoft. Like his friend Paul Allen, he is probably a mover and opportunist who will stop at nothing to get idea of the fields. Pirates of Silicon Valley is very interesting. It's not just about the difference between Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, but it also comes with foreign qualities of top people. For example, there is a quote from the mafia kingpin: "Keep your friends close, but keep your friends immense." If we are succeed, we must be closer to our competition than to our own friends. There is also the very famous phrase, "Good artists copy, great artists steal," from Picasso. From this Pirates of Silicon Valley film, we can take a lesson that we must remain enthusiastic, innovative. They are there to change in better direction than to make risky maximum brain performance, but the smart to the opportunity that exists. And thank you very much.